Anyways, page 6 is saying that this former adult entertainer named Sarah had a secret romance with Timothée Chalamet, and she's claiming that she was blindsided by his relationship with Kylie Jenner.
Ever since Timothée Chalamet's unexpected Oscar loss, something about the conversation around him has clearly started to shift, and fans online are definitely noticing it. For months leading up to the ceremony, there was real momentum behind him. Industry insiders were hinting that this could finally be his defining awards season moment. Social media conversations were building, predictions were leaning in his direction, and many viewers genuinely believed he had a strong chance of walking away with the win. But when the award ultimately went to Michael B. Jordan, the reaction online was immediate. Instead of celebration, the tone surrounding Timothée changed almost overnight. Suddenly, people weren't just talking about the performance anymore. They were talking about expectations, pressure, campaign strategy, and whether something behind the scenes had quietly shifted during the final stretch of voting. Some critics even started suggesting that his recent artistic direction, including projects connected to more niche creative influences like ballet and opera-inspired storytelling, may not have connected as strongly with Academy voters as many originally expected. Others questioned whether the level of hype surrounding his campaign might have worked against him in the final moments of the race. And once those conversations started circulating, the energy around him began to feel noticeably different. At the same time, fans noticed something else happening, because just as the Oscars fallout was still being discussed across social media, a completely separate claim surfaced involving a private timeline from before his relationship with Kylie Jenner became public. And once that story appeared online, people immediately began trying to connect the dots. According to an adult film actress known professionally as Azula Hermosa, she and Timothée had been privately connected for a period of time before his relationship with Kylie entered the spotlight. She says the interaction reportedly started in a simple way through Instagram. According to her version of events, she first reacted to one of his stories with a black heart emoji and didn't receive a response. Months later, she reacted again to another post. This time, she says he liked the reaction, and from there, she claims the connection slowly developed into private conversations that eventually led to meeting in person. That alone was enough to get people paying attention, but what really raised questions for fans online was the timeline she described next. According to her account, the two eventually exchanged phone numbers, and he asked whether she happened to be in Los Angeles at the time. She says she was visiting friends, and plans were made to meet that same night. She later claimed the meeting took place at a beachfront property in Santa Monica, where he had been staying after leaving New York during the pandemic. She even admitted that when she arrived, she felt nervous enough to ask him to step outside first, so she could confirm it was actually him before going inside. And according to her description of the moment, once he appeared, the situation suddenly felt very real. From there, she says the two connected quickly and continued communicating after that first meeting. She also claimed that during one of their early interactions, he sang Bob Dylan songs to her, something that caught people's attention later because it aligned with a creative phase he was publicly exploring around that time. And according to her timeline, the connection didn't end there. She says they met again about a month later when she returned to Los Angeles for work. During that period, she described their communication as consistent and supportive, even saying that he never made her feel uncomfortable about her career and often spoke to her with respect. One detail that stood out to many readers was her claim that he even discouraged her from getting cosmetic surgery at one point, something she interpreted as a sign that he genuinely cared about her decisions. As the story continued circulating online, fans began paying closer attention to another part of her timeline, because according to her account, their communication continued into early 2023. She explained that she sent him a birthday message on January 5th, 2023, and that he responded only by liking the message. After that, she says the communication stopped completely, and that moment quickly became the detail people focused on the most, because less than 3 weeks later, Timothée was publicly seen with Kylie Jenner during Paris Fashion Week, including appearances connected to the Jean-Paul Gaultier show. By April, the reports linking the two together had become widespread, and their relationship soon became one of the most talked about celebrity pairings online. Once fans noticed how closely those moments appeared to line up, conversations about the timeline started spreading quickly across social media platforms. According to Azula Hermosa, the situation was emotionally confusing for her because she believed their connection connection had been moving in a more serious direction. She claimed he checked in regularly, asked about her life, and even showed interest in visiting her hometown in Portland, Oregon, which made her believe there could be something more long-term developing between them. She later shared that she had strong feelings for him at the time, even though she never directly told him she was in love. Instead, she says she expressed that she wanted something more consistent between them, something that felt less temporary and more stable. That's why, according to her version of events, the sudden silence after his birthday felt unexpected. And once her story became public, reactions online were immediate and divided. Some people questioned why she chose to speak about the situation now. Others believed the timeline she described deserved closer attention. And as often happens with stories like this, social media users quickly began comparing details and forming their own interpretations. One Reddit user even wrote, "Defending a person and then experiencing why nobody likes them is very humbling." Interestingly, that quote was later reposted by a well-known longtime fan account often referred to as Club Chalamet, which many viewers interpreted as a sign that even some dedicated supporters were beginning to step back from defending him as strongly as before. And that reaction caught people's attention, because when longtime fan communities start shifting their tone, it usually signals that something larger is happening in the public conversation. At the same time, others pointed out that being in the spotlight often means past connections can resurface unexpectedly, especially during moments when an actor is already facing increased attention after a major awards season disappointment. Still, the timing of everything happening so close together led many fans to keep asking the same question. Was this simply a misunderstanding that became bigger online than it needed to be? Or is there still more to the timeline that hasn't fully been explained yet? Because between the Oscar loss, the shift in public expectations, and now these resurfaced claims about a private connection before his relationship with Kylie Jenner became public, the conversation around Timothée has clearly entered a new phase. And right now, people are watching closely to see what happens next. So what do you think about this situation? Do you believe the timeline described in her story raises real questions, or do you think this is something that's being interpreted too strongly online? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, because fans are seriously divided on this right now. And if you want more updates on the biggest celebrity moments everyone is talking about, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for what happens next.